So we're in a very serious situation at the moment. We've got stagflation, which is not just low growth, but we're probably in a recession combined with inflation at over 10%. We know historically how to try to deal with inflation. We know historically how to try to deal with a recession. But to try to deal with both of them at the same time is a huge, huge challenge. And combined with that, we have a winter now where it's one problem after another. The strike almost every day leading up to Christmas. The problem with strikes is not only are they disruptive to everybody, to consumers, to working people, they disrupt businesses. The hospitality industry, December is disproportionately the most important month in the whole year by far, the build up to Christmas. And if you disrupt that, I mean, there are various calculations of £1.5–2 billion of business lost by hospitality who've suffered enough already. And we're saying you've given us some help with energy, maybe reducing the cost by 40%. That's coming to an end in March. What about giving us some more help? What about some more help with VAT for restaurants and pubs? There are pubs and restaurants that are closing at the moment. They need that help desperately. So the situation with the government at the moment in dealing with this is what is happening now is not enough. And I think they need to do more. Otherwise, we will see businesses closing down. And what we're in now, I'm sorry to say this, is with a recession, with inflation, with stagflation, with strikes, it's a vicious cycle. It's literally a downward spiral, and we've got to stop that downward spiral. Now, the good news is in America, inflation seems to be coming down. Even in the Eurozone, there are hints that inflation might be coming down. If that's the case, that's really good news because inflation is the big enemy at the moment. And we know if inflation can come down next year, then we can have growth. And this is what the autumn statement did not deal with. You went from one extreme of the irrational exuberance of Liz Truss and Kwasi Kwarteng's mini budget in September to the other extreme where we've put up taxes to the highest level in 70 years, which is the worst thing. It stifles growth, stifles recovery. And on top of that, you've got cuts. Now, where's the growth plan? And we're saying to the government, you need growth. And growth means investing in skills. Growth means investing, encouraging companies to invest, incentivizing inward investment from abroad. Growth means investing in skills and lifelong learning. Growth means the apprenticeship levy being reformed that desperately needs to be reformed. There's none of this. And we need to see that emphasis on growth right now. And the government's saying, wait till the budget in March, April, then we'll do all this. Well, I hope it's not too late by then, because we need the help now. We need this action right now.
Let me ask you whether or not the reopening of the coal mine up in Cumbria ticked some of those boxes in the list that you've just articulated, in the sense that it creates 500 jobs, it creates coking coal that the troubled UK steel industry desperately wants. It also creates an export commodity, which has got to be good for growth in the midst of a recession. Did you approve? Did you give it a thumbs up, or you have environmental concerns?
I spent 1.5 out of the 2 weeks at COP26 in Glasgow a year ago. And I can say that the transition to net zero is absolutely crucial. And we as a country are completely committed to that. 60% of the FTSE 100 companies have committed to net zero. Come on, it's on their own accord. 9% of businesses of all sizes have at least one climate-related target. But what I always say is this is not an on-off switch. You can't suddenly switch off from fossil fuels to renewables and alternative energy. It's got to be a transition. And this coal mine is providing coal for steel plants. It's coking coal. It's not coal that's going to be used to heat our homes. It's for a very specific purpose. In the same way that we have more gas produced in the North Sea, that may be required during the transition. And at the same time, and this is the mistake people make, they're saying, no, we're going through stagflation. We're going through all these problems at the moment. Let's stop all the investment in greens and renewables. No. We've got to double down on them. We've got to be more self-reliant. We've seen what's happened with Europe and their reliance on Russia. We need to be able to, the more we have investment in wind, the more we have investment in solar, the more we have investment in hydrogen. Heating our, can you imagine if all our homes are heated through the pipes that we have upgraded with clean hydrogen, zero emissions in all our homes? 29 million homes. That is possible. Sure. Birmingham University, where I'm Chancellor, we've invented the world's first retrofitted hydrogen-powered train. So the technology is advancing. Rolls-Royce have these small modular reactors. These plants can power 1 million people with electricity. They take 5 years to set up. We haven't even started building one of them. I say to the government, let's start building them now. So we must continue with all this.